37 and cutting, but there's something I forgot to speak.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the RNCC meeting. It's May 11th, 2026. It is 7:04. Rock, could you please lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much. So before we get to the president's reports and roll call, I just wanted to mention that Richmond is 52 square miles. We have 6 voting districts, and we have about 33 neighborhood councils within those within the city. Some are active, a lot of them aren't. So we're currently working on helping some of these neighborhoods come back to life, and we will be hosting an election for El Sobrani Hills on May 19th, is it? Next Tuesday. So that being said, let's start off with roll call, President's reports.
Rock Brown, Sergeant Arms, RNCC, Treasurer of the East Richmond Neighborhood Council. I have no report. I yield to the president if he's out there, the president of the East Richmond East Richmond Neighborhood Council.
Good evening, Margarita Minas, President of Marina Bay Neighborhood Council and also member of RNCC. We had a special meeting, which is outside of our quarterly meetings that we held, to discuss a couple of environmental impacts to our community, one being a temporary cap project that is going to take place next to Laura's. It's a toxic site. We had DTSC come out, City of Richmond project manager, developer, anyway, project manager for the development team came out and also gave a presentation to the community about what to expect and how they're going to contain the toxicity of the soils and the release of it in the air. We also had a watershed team from Watershed Project come out and talk about the Richmond's sea level rise, which is a futuristic issue that we all will be faced with, that are bounded by the marina. And yeah, and that's it. We are getting ready for our next meeting, which will be June 10th. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Ardo Rintila. I'm the president of the Fairmead Hilltop Neighborhood Council, and we just had a forum, a mayor's forum, and it was a success. That forum can be found on YouTube under Don Gosney's YouTube page and the Hilltop Community Church YouTube page. And for any of you having forums here in the future, just remember that you have to invite all the candidates, whether you like them or not. They all have to be included, and neighborhood councils are apolitical, so the questions have to be neutral and not pointed, just, following the democratic process, being fair. As I said, we have elections coming up for El Sobrani Hills, and then on May 28th, the Fairmead Hilltop Neighborhood Council, we're hoping to get code enforcement up there to talk about a few things. And then, as I stated earlier about this is an election year, and when you, as neighborhood councils, do your newsletters, do not name candidates by name. I had that experience today because if that person is a candidate, they can't be put in your newsletter because it'll have to go to legal. And by the time it gets back from legal, it may be too late to send that newsletter out. And you cannot name city council people district by district or by name, unless you're inviting them to your neighborhood council meeting. It's an election time, and the city's really tight with their policies, and so they're safeguarding themselves as well as us. So just be mindful when you do your newsletter and try and get it in as early as possible. And with that being said, oh, and I wanted to mention, I'm also one of the directors for West County Wastewater District. And unfortunately, we are raising our rates along with a lot of other utilities. And if you want to appeal those rates, come to our June 3rd meeting up at the Hilltop meeting facility and voice your opinion about those rate hikes. Again, there's a lot of taxes on the ballot and a lot of rate hikes from utilities right now, so it's getting very expensive to live in California, and who knows, that might be the grand plan, I don't know. Moving on, Jan?
Hi, I'm Jan Mignoni. I'm the president of the North and East Neighborhood Council, and I'm the vice president of the Rncc. We had a meeting the end of last month. Ours is the fourth Wednesday of the month. So we had Michelle Milam and Anna came, and we talked about a lot of stuff, you know, different code enforcement. I'm not code enforcement. Oh, I'm losing my mind. The homeless and different things we can do in the neighborhood and stuff, because we actually have over on, 24th and Preble, where the old, it was a Motel 6 that's now being transformed into it's going to be a part-time, a place for homeless to go to bring them back into the neighborhood. So I've been asking about how that's going along and everything. Our next meeting will be in May. Normally we would have our elections in May, but because it's really hard to get a hold of people, we pushed it back to June because we've got a newsletter going out. So I want to make sure that people are aware of what's going on and who can come out and do things. That's about it.
Good evening. My name is Lori Hart. I am the Vice President of the Parchester Village Neighborhood Council, and I am the Secretary for the RNCC. Last month in Parchester, we had a SFEI watershed project about the Dotson Marsh, and that's a wrap-up. We've been working on that for a little bit over a year, so we're trying to get some things aligned with the Dotson Marsh in Parchester. We also had the opportunity to partake in the Taco with a Cop, and if you guys get an opportunity to do that, it was fabulous. I invited a friend who has a new tagline, come for the tacos and stay for the cops. And no, they are not free. They do not come with the meal. However, we did have a blast. And tomorrow is our bi-monthly PVNC meeting. And anything else, I'm sure our president will pick up. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Garetha Johnson. I'm the president of the Parchester Neighborhood Council and PIO for the RNCC. And we have our meeting tomorrow, so it's really no report until next month. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bryce Aleman. I represent the Richmore Village and Metro Square neighborhoods. Nothing to report from there, and I'm also a director at large for the RNCC. Nothing to report. Oh, except to say, if you are online and you are a president of a neighborhood council and would like to give a synopsis of what's happening for you, please raise your hand electronically so that I can unmute you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to start out by asking anybody in the audience, if you have a report and you're a member of the neighborhood council, please step up. Oh, well then.
So Cordell Handler with Park Plaza Neighborhood Council, and we are having our meeting this Thursday. It's going to be on Zoom, so that's the short report. But at our last Point Richmond Neighborhood Council meeting, we had folks from Robert Robert Stevenson and company to talk to us about the Point Richmond connectivity project. So it was pretty well attended. So our next meeting is going to be May 27th at 7:30 via Zoom, and that's pretty much it. So
Thank you. Garland, if you'd like to introduce the new president for the neighborhood.
Garland Ellis, member of the Richmond Annex Neighborhood Council. We had an election last month, and I am no longer president. Our new president is in the audience, Andres, and he's going to give the report.
Thank you.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks for the intro. Like Garland said, we had our election last month's meeting, so we have new officers, me being the new president, and now we're getting the ball rolling on different things, and including we have a mayoral forum at our upcoming meeting on Thursday, May 28th. So if anyone from your neighborhood councils missed yours or any of the other forums, they're certainly welcome to ours for a fun, friendly, civil discussion with all the candidates have confirmed. So,
Thank you.
Philip online, please go ahead. I'm clicking ask to unmute.
Is that better?
That works. Thank you.
Thanks. I was glad to see that Cordell was in the room. He was at the meeting last week. I was traveling. He is correct. We are dealing with bike lanes and bike lanes and bike lanes. Our next meeting will be held on Zoom. As always, it's May 27th, Wednesday at 7:30. And more kind of almost bike lane related. We have 3 simultaneous projects going on about trying to control traffic through Old Point Richmond. One of them is try to slow the traffic that's coming through our town to go to the freeway and causing gridlock. So there's a plan that sort of overlaps with potential bike lanes. It's rather confusing, and we're hoping that Public Works is monitoring these 3 separate projects. So we will be hearing on that part of the project next month, and we do pray for a time when we do not have a meeting that involves bike lanes or traffic, because that's been almost every meeting for the last 2 years. That's all I've got for now.
Thank you so much. Jim Hansen, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Jim Hansen, President, East Richmond Neighborhood Council. Nothing special to report. We have a meeting coming up at the end of the month on the 27th, and we're going to take a look at some of the new wildfire mitigation measures that are coming out of Sacramento, and do a follow-up on a home electrification fair that was held last month. Kind of follows up on some of the climate change topics that you all brought up. So thank you.
Thank you. I see we have a few more left in the audience. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself and your neighborhood?
Hello, hi, my name is Jonas Julin. I am co-president of the Pullman Neighborhood Council with, we all know Naomi over here. We need to get her a mic too if we have one tonight.
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just to report, we spoke at the, I believe it was the April 28th City Council meeting, and we got full support from the City Council to start just looking at the feasibility of a park on 27th and Florida. So that's exciting. Our next meeting is going to be June 13th, and then come hang out with us on Juneteenth. The 20th, June 20th, we are going to be on our side announcing the parade, the cars that come by, and we're going to be playing some music, and we're going to be having some fun while the parade goes by. And Val Williams is going to be announcing the parade, as she has been for the last few years. So we're excited about that. So did I miss anything? Okay. Thanks.
And by the way, if you need some car guys out there, give me a call.
What's that?
If you need car clubs to show up, give me a call.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sherwin Harris. I'm the president of the Iron Triangle Neighborhood Council and also the ambassador and civic engagement director for the Bay Area Rest Commission. We have our meeting coming up on the 20th of May at the Nevin Center at 598 Nevin Ave, Richmond, California. If you want to join us, we got a pretty packed agenda. We have our Richmond Police Department Lieutenant Ernest Lucas will be giving his monthly report. We have the Community Crisis Response Team, ROC, which will be doing their update about what they can do for the Iron Triangle in the city of Richmond. We have Veolia Water Treatment Plant Manager Thomas Stickles. He'll be coming in sharing what's going on at the water plant. And then we have our very own Darren Fitzpatrick, Assistant Deputy Public Works Director. He'll be coming and sharing what they're doing, plan to do at Nevin Center. And lastly, we have Catholic Charities, Fernanda Ruiz. She'll be coming and sharing what the organization has to offer our citizens as far as legal and other avenues, rent relief, and other things like that. Last month, we had our mayoral forum. We held it at COBIZ, and it was a robust one. Had all the candidates. We didn't name names.
That's right.
So we did everything right. And then on the 15th of April, we honored some of our queens of the city, and I beg your pardon. I believe you were there, and you were one of the honorees, and I don't know your.
I was talking to Lori Hart and Garetha Johnson.
Yeah,
Thank you.
both of these two ladies, they were honored. We gave them some artwork by one of our local artists, and also gave them certificates of appreciation for the hard work they do for the city of Richmond and Parchester in particular. That's my report.
Thank you. Any other reports? Before we get to our public information officer, I did want to mention to all you neighborhood councils that are interested in throwing a party, just to have a party, this is the 70th anniversary for neighborhood councils this year. So it's a good reason to get together and have a party and talk about your neighborhood councils. And the RNCC is going to talk about having or get together and figure out what we're going to do for the 70th anniversary of neighborhood councils. So moving on, I guess we'll go to our public information officer, Garetha.
Okay, good evening again. And the only thing that I have to announce is Juneteenth, which is happening on June the 20th. Now, the parade will start at 10 o'clock, but the lineup starts at 8 o'clock, and that would be at the Richmond Fire Training at 3506 Cutting. That you need to be there by 8 o'clock so that they can line you up. And the actual festival will be from after the parade. It's like from 10 to 6 o'clock. So everybody make plans to come out, even for a couple hours. You know, the city works hard. All the vendors are out there. Come out and just give your support for Richmond. Okay.
All right, and you can go on the city's website if you want to sign up for the parade or as a vendor. We do have some booths left for food and for information and craft tables. Again, to go to the City of Richmond website under the Juneteenth, and you can sign up for everything. And this year, our headliner is going to be John B. So, and we have some local artists as well. So we're really excited. It was wonderful last year, and I'm looking forward to this year. It's going to be equally wonderful, if not better. Thank you.
All right, before we get to our presenters, I did want to let everybody know because this actually involves all of the departments in the city of Richmond. If you haven't already, you may want to get the Richmond City app and put it in your phone. It's extrememely handy, helpful. You don't have to go home and email people. You could take a picture of the problem right there and send it in. So the Richmond City app is very good, and I think the more people know about it, the happier they'll be. So moving on, our first presenter will be Chief Simmons. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Before we get to the chief, I guess I jumped the gun. Code enforcement is going to be doing a presentation.
Correct.
Mr. Tisdale? Didn't mean to shortchange you.
Don't sit baby in the corner. Come on up.
That's right. I didn't see him.
All right. Good afternoon to the RNCC, City of Richmond residents. My name is Kevin Tisdale, work with the City of Richmond Code Enforcement Division, and presenting tonight along with Lena Velasco and Eva Mann. So I'll go to the next slide. And if needed, I have additional packets here for both the people on the dais and the community here. So the Code Enforcement Division is within the Community Development Department, and so here just showing a diagram breaking down the different divisions in community development, including planning, building, code, housing, and the successor agency. So next slide, code enforcement. So what do we do? So code enforcement's mission, pretty simple. So to protect the neighborhood, health, safety, and quality, that's done by reducing blight throughout the community and public nuisances, as well as zoning and vehicle violations on private property. So how that gets done is we investigate complaints by citizens, anonymous and whatnot, and inspect private properties, residential as well as commercial, first and foremost to promote voluntary compliance, to ensure that education is done and outreach, make sure everybody's on notice. If they need to be, notices are provided to all tenants, residents, property owners. And then if needed, and if voluntary compliance isn't achieved, administrative citations are issued and abatement warrants are issued, again, when needed. Just about every day, we're partnering with various community organizations, various departments, and other agencies to deliver the services we need for the Richmond residents. Next slide. So who we are, we're a team of 8 full-time staff. We have 1 code enforcement manager, 1 admin aide, 1 associate administrative analyst, and 5 code enforcement officers that are with the city, and then 2 contract code enforcement officers with 4 leave. Next slide. So this is a summation of what we did in 2025. So throughout the year 2025, there were 1,605 inspections completed, 1,108 cases opened, 948 cases closed, 1,113 violation notices issued, 269 administrative citations issued, 12 administrative warrants issued, and 83 vehicle abatement notices. So very busy year. And the photos you see are, again, just snapshots throughout the year of what we end up dealing with. Next slide. One of the important programs that we have through the City Attorney's Office is a Health and Safety Receivership Program. This program helps to tackle some of the most hardest properties, the most egregious, if you may, but it ends up taking it somewhat from the worst to the best. So the Health and Safety Receivership works with, again, the City Attorney's Office and special attorneys to where they get court-appointed receivers to be able to take control of the property temporarily, to get the proper permits, get everything corrected, and then turning the property back over to the property owner. So as you see a progression of what's shown on your screen, March 2023, the International Hotel, and then when it caught fire, and then February of 2026 as it is today. So again, it's not perfect, but it's much better than when it was back when it was burned. Next Next slide. One of the most important things we figure, and thank you, President, for identifying ways to file a complaint. So on the City of Richmond website, you know, you can report an issue. Our current system we're using is IMS. And so again, it's very important. I put a screenshot here on the screen so you can see it and identify, you know, that you're on the right site. You can use the City of Richmond website or the app. Email address is on here, ce-1@ci.richmond.ca.us. Our phone number, complaint line, 510-621-1279. We're located at City Hall, 450 on the second floor, and our business hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. Always, you know, willing to help anybody we can. And with that, take any questions if you have them. Thank you.
Starting with Garland, any questions? Rita?
Thank you.
Yes. I have a couple questions. You had a line item that said an abatement warrant. What is that specifically? What is an abatement warrant?
I'll go back to that slide.
Yeah, you issued 12.
Okay, let me go. One second. There we go. So an abatement warrant is a tool that we use to get onto private property. So in order for us to get on private property, we need either consent, an emergency, or a warrant. So if we send a notice and compliance, you know, they don't reach out to us, you know, we don't hear from them, aren't contacting, we send citations. After a few citations, we end up drafting a warrant. Again, if the property still isn't in compliance, we ask a judge to grant us the authority to come onto the property to abate the violation, whether it be grass, removing a vehicle, boarding a home that's unsecure, and to do those specific items. So again, we're allowed a time frame to get that done using the abatement unit or the police department, whoever we need to assist, and we do that work. And so that's what abatement warrants are for. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
That's a good segue to my next question. So, I live in Parchester, and we have about 4 or 5 properties that they're no houses. They're just abandoned, and the grass is taller than this building. And so, whose responsibility? I know it should be the homeowner, but should not the city go after them to do something with these lots? Some people have parked cars, some people have made play structures, but we really need to do something about these lots, specifically the owners just not doing anything. So you had a category, health and safety receivership, but these aren't actual houses, they're just empty lots.
Yes. So health and safety receiverships only qualify when there's a structure on the property. For vacant lots, again, Richmond has a lot of lots, and whether the property owners are alive, deceased, active, inactive, if the grass are growing or violations are on the property, you know, generally each year, multiple times a year, we're noticing, we're doing, you know, some actions on them. So I will push that off to the code enforcement officers that are in that area, but that particular type of property isn't available for the health and safety receivership program. Right. Yeah. But we'll definitely look into that and get those addressed.
Please do, because
yes,
there are a few, and it would be nice to not have that blight.
Any questions online?
Yes, there is. Michelle, please come online and speak. Michelle? Currently, oh, go ahead,
Can you
Michelle.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, now you can hear me. I wanted to thank Kevin for his presentation, and I wanted to see, Kevin, could you explain something to residents about the process for abating homeless encampments on private property, which is different from the public street? People often ask about that, and I think it's helpful for people to understand the steps.
Sure. So looking if there was a private property, for instance, using a lot or some area that an unhoused individual either are occupying or on, we would notice the violations that are there. So again, a lot of times there are, items, garbage debris, maybe a vehicle. And so we notice the items, not the people. And then once we get to a point where we go through the on private property, the notices, the citations, and get to a warrant, along that part, we're contacting CORE, we're contacting, all the same services that they do on public property, but of course, private property takes a little bit longer because of the noticing aspect. So, did that answer your question, Michelle?
Yes, it did.
Any other questions online? Okay. Any questions in the audience?
Just really quick on fire damage structures. What are the qualifications that they're to be eligible for the HNS receivership program? Does the owner need to be engaged with that?
Good question. Every property depends. It really, the city attorney and their specialists look at the property, they look at the equity, look at the damage, they look at kind of the neighborhood, the effect it's having. Maybe is it a burn property? Does it burn this year? Did it burn 5 years ago? Is there insurance? Is there not insurance? So it's not a very simple answer, but yeah, it's definitely looked at or can be looked at for feasibility.
Well, I just wanted to say that your app works for the Bay Area Rescue Mission. We save a lot of time by not having to make phone calls. We just go on the app, find the appropriate category that we're talking about. And what we did for the vacant lot that's at 111 and 113 McDonald was we went on the overgrowth of private property, which is on that app. And we just submitted it, and in a couple of days, the city sent somebody out, they cut the field, and they put the fence up. So it does work, and it's on this app.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also wanted to ask, so at 2855 Loyola Avenue, right next door to me, the homeowner passed away 5 years ago. The kids stopped paying the landscaper, so you know where I'm going. And then you guys have pulled a multitude of cars off that property, and there's 4 or 5 left that need to be hauled out of there. It's just blight. But I just wanted to have people understand that you can actually put a lien on a home, and the property owner cannot sell that property until the lien is satisfied. So I wanted to also ask, how far can you go before you use eminent domain?
That's actually a good question. So, and I'll answer, but I don't have a city attorney here, but I'll answer with the knowledge I have.
Yeah.
So yes, if any property we send a citation to, if it's not paid, and then if we do a warrant, then we can send those up to the county to go on the tax roll. And again, it's by last resort to get to that point. But there are properties that do end up having warrants and do end up getting fees and citations and recording notices or liens at the property to where you can't transfer, you can't get a not a loan, but refinance. The property is clouded. As far as eminent domain, code enforcement, we can't take over any property. Again, we can get a warrant to seize control temporarily, limited time, limited scope, and then we, just to gain access, not to change ownership. And so eminent domain would not be an answer for us to use.
There used to be a program where if there were enough violations and the homeowner was deceased, like next door to me, that it would be a trigger and sent up to the city, and then there was a program where they actually used eminent domain to take the property. It was done very few times, but it was done, and it was a program that existed 10 years ago.
Got it. I'll look it up. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. If there's,
We have a question or comment on the line. Philip, please go ahead.
Thanks, guys. I wanted to mention something about the excellent app that I think is useful to know. When you make a report on the app, it goes directly into the reporting system and issues a case number on it. I may be using the wrong terms. And then it gets scattered to the or routed to the correct department. This is why I'm encouraging my neighbors and on our neighborhood council, we actually show people how to download it because uh, if you phone it in, they just have to do the same thing anyway. It is also geotagged. So if you see something, but you don't know exactly where you are, there's kind of an arrow. I also encourage you to take some photos and include them in your report. It makes it easier. Maybe there's an abandoned car for the code enforcement people to look at that. But I do have a question for code enforcement. I am resolving it. We have citations that were issued by the fire department in our neighborhood for fire safety violations. And those cases are outstanding for 3 years. Uh, there are numerous reports to the fire department asking for follow-up. And then just recently, we were able to communicate with Eva Mann from Code Enforcement. And can you explain what might have fallen through the cracks between the several citations that were issued by the fire department and what might have gone wrong and how we can work better to make sure that it goes from the various departments to code enforcement? And I don't know who answers that question.
Yeah, without the specifics, I wouldn't be able to answer, but we do work, again, with various departments, including building, fire, public works, but I can't answer exactly what happened or what fell through the cracks without knowing, a lot more information, so.
All right, it's in Eva's hands now, so this problem's being handled in my community. I just kind of throw it out there because mostly when it comes to safety, like fire safety, it's really important that we follow up and that the departments follow up so they can hand it to you. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you. Are there any, before you leave, could you tell us what the contact information best to reach you at?
Sure. My contact information is 510-621-1569. It's 510-621-1569. Or again, you can email or call the complaint hotline and get any code enforcement officer, the manager, the director, get access to us all. So,
Thank you. Hope to see you at our neighborhood council meeting too this month.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Moving on, now I can go to the chief. Thank you. Is Chief Simmons on?
Chief Simmons? Not that I'm seeing at this time.
Okay, well, we'll come back to him if he shows up. How about Captain Lopez?
Yes. There you go.
I heard somebody, there's a big old column in there. Oh, there he
You
is.
can't see through the column,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I know this guy.
Such a mention.
I knew his father.
Good evening. Just real quick, I'll just go over some quick crime stats. I'm happy to report that pretty much all metrics of crime appear to have decreased. If we're comparing March to April just for this year, we've seen a 32% decrease in violent crime totals, as well as a 40% decrease in property crime totals. That would just be from last month to this month. We have seen that decrease. Another metric that we do like to use, though, is the compare year-to-year changes. Those do also appear to show a decrease. So from April 25 to April 26, there's still 25% decrease. And from April of 25 to April 26, there was a 17%. I apologize. There was an 18%, unfortunately, increase for property crime totals. And year to date, we are at a 5% drop in violent crime totals. So compared to this time last year, we've seen a 5% decrease, and our total property crime is unfortunately up 28% compared to this time last year. And I think the only thing notable to really report is that we all know that the council voted to extend the flock contract. There were some fine details that had to get worked out in the contract. That's finally been resolved, and I believe all, if not the majority, of the cameras have been reactivated, so the system is back on.
Thank you. Cordell's anxious to ask you a question. 7-Eleven.
Lieutenant Patchen, you know what I'm going to say, and everybody has heard it, but I want you to be aware. So I have called the police a couple of occasions to report individuals that are hanging out in front of 7-Eleven, morning and evening, and it's becoming a hot spot because it's getting worse. Because I gave them what they were wearing and what they look like. So if you can do me just a big favor, we need to have some extra patrol around 7-Eleven. And Corky's famous hot dog place, it would be helpful if we had some extra patrol around that corridor. That's one. And then the other issue that I had brought up, and I had spoken with one of the businesses along that corridor, is that from what Palace Furniture told me, they said that they see people going speeding near their business. And it would be great if we had some more patrol along that corridor as well. So that would be very helpful if there be some extra patrol around that area. That's it.
In response to, it's not an unusual request to have extra patrols in around 7-Eleven. I actually personally reached out to ROC to see if maybe that's something they can assist with and try and take more of a holistic approach. I believe we've been having them go out to potentially offer services and see if there's things that we can do before taking enforcement. So that is one of the things that we've been trying to move towards when you have people that are unhoused and they're outside of businesses, either asking for money or food or things along those lines. ROC has some food and other services they're able to offer that we're not. So I've kind of transitioned, at least as a watch commander, to try and have them go out and reach out to the individuals, see if we can give them resources before we have to start taking enforcement action to get them out of the area.
Well, I'm happy to report that the Westridge Apartments, Lancaster Apartments is what we call them in the neighborhood, is looking at getting flock cameras themselves. So they won't have to go through city council. So that's going to help our neighborhood quite a bit. I'm happy to hear that. And I'm hoping that the beat officer that comes to our neighborhood brings us the statistics for those apartments along with the statistics for our neighborhood, and so we can compare them. But yeah, thank you for everything you guys do out there. Rock?
Hello. On the 7-Eleven issue, I don't know if this is an avenue you may take. I don't know if the owner has been informed, who owns that particular 7-Eleven, but it's kind of been on the radar quite a bit. And one of the techniques sometimes is if the neighborhood is upset about it and they're not getting results from the owner, sometimes they can contact the owner and invite the owner and maybe even the neighborhood president to come down and discuss and see if there's something they can do to try to work together to resurrect the problem.
That is always an option we can potentially look into in the future.
Talking? Yep.
There is a Michelle online. Please go ahead.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. First of all, I wanted to tell Cordell thank you. I did send a message out to the patrol officers in that area regarding following up with some extra patrol over there. Most of the individuals there who are unhoused, they're not just unhoused, they're unhoused, and some unfortunately have mental health conditions and other things that are going on. So CORE and ROC have worked together on that. But the other thing to be aware of is that the owners themselves, we're trying to make sure that they're calling specifically on that property. So I just wanted to let you know about that. And then for the issue about Westridge, we did get a chance to meet with that management. We met with them several times, and we've done 2 SEPTED recommendations, and they agreed to install the flock cameras on their own. So that is something that they're moving forward with. And we're also working out a patrol plan to continue to work with them, as well as different services on those units that they had where they had squatters. At the last meeting that I was at with Westridge, it looked like initially they had 100 occupancies. Now they're down to 20. And I think they only had 3 units that still had squatters inside. That doesn't mean that the work is done, but there has been progress made over there. So I just wanted to give you all updates on those 2 issues.
Michelle, you're everywhere.
And by the way, Michelle, from my neighborhood council, thank you. It's important that we get a grip on that area. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you for your time, and stay safe out there.
Yes.
All right. From police to fire, do we have anybody here from fire?
Yeah. We did. Did he just?
Yeah, I'm here online.
Oh, there.
Fantastic.
The different column. Thank you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead, Chief Rico.
Yeah, Rico Rancon, Richmond Fire Department Deputy Fire Chief. I want to start with a few brief incident totals. For ending the month of April, we had a incident total of 1,084 incidents with significant reductions of about 14% in structure fires over the month from the previous month. 40% decrease we saw in homeless encampment fires, and over 60% decrease in our vehicle fires, our most significant changes from the previous month. In addition to emergency stats, some of the highlights from the previous month is in conjunction with the American Red Cross, the fire department participated in the Shields Reed community on April 25th with the Sound the Alarm initiative. 35 homes were made safer, 133 smoke alarms were installed, and we provided resources to nearly 150 residents in the neighborhood. On Monday, May 4th, we began a recruit academy for firefighter trainees. We have 8 new firefighter trainees who have started their 17-week academy at our training facility, and we wish them all to succeed to graduation. Our Spring Cert Academy, which we brought to you previously, has 20 students that will be graduating this Saturday, May 16th, after completing all of their cert sessions. And then lastly, wanted to briefly highlight our evacuation drill scheduled for May 30th from 9 to 12. And that'll be covering the neighborhoods of May Valley, El Sobrani Hills, Greenbrier, Castro Heights, and the Carriage Hills neighborhoods. Participants who participate in the evacuation drill will get information on better understanding the community warning system and NIXL alerts, be able to learn and know their evacuation zones, practice their evacuation plans, and have access to additional preparedness resources. We're working on that project in conjunction with neighboring fire departments and neighboring agencies, as well as the West County Fire Safe Council. And that concludes my reports, unless there's any questions.
Questions? Lori?
Yes, Chief Recon, can we add Parchester for next year on the evacuation drill? I don't think we've ever had one, so we're happy to partner with any neighboring neighborhood councils, but if we have to go solo, so be it. But we would love to have you guys come out and do an evacuation drill for us sometime next year.
Sounds good. We try to rotate them. It takes a period of time, so we try to rotate them between different neighborhoods. But I will have our Office of Emergency Services reach out to you to work on next steps.
Thank you kindly.
I'd appreciate that as well. I know that the neighborhoods that you mentioned are in District 4 on the other side of the freeway. Apparently, our side of the freeway wasn't included, but maybe next time. I also wanted to ask you about the FHSC maps, the high fire severity maps. Where can one find them, and could you tell us a little bit about it and how they came about, and for those of
Yeah,
us
I
that
think
don't.
I think we came to RNCC for a presentation on when we
Yes.
adopted the maps. Those are actually state maps that come through a process where there's a lot of calculations and information gathering that determine what we call very high fire hazard severity zones. We in turn get those in the city of Richmond, and then we have adopted those maps. Those are available via our fire department webpage on the city website, as well as we have some additional zones that we're looking at paying attention to that may be areas of Richmond concern. They're not on the actual zone maps, but we do want to make sure we provide significant fire safety and additional inspections in those areas as well. But any information regarding how those maps are developed, I think there's some videos on the history of the maps and how that process is put together. And if there's any follow-up necessary, please contact the fire department and we can provide that information.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, thank you for your report, and stay safe out there as well.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next, do we have anyone from the mayor's office?
Tony, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tony. I'm here with the City of Richmond Mayor's Office. I want to take a couple of minutes to give you a quick update on the city's boards and commissions and how residents can get involved. First, we currently do have vacancies across several boards and commissions. These are important opportunities for residents to participate in shaping policies and programs in Richmond. I kindly ask the RNCC and members of the public to share these opportunities within your neighborhood networks. Later this month, we plan to post a vacancy report so community members can take a quick glance and report, take a quick glance at the report and identify vacancies and how to apply. So we're excited to post that first one later this month. Since the start of the year, we have already agendized and appointed around 27 people to boards and commissions, and we have 12 additional applicants for the process right now. But we still need applicants in key areas. Particularly, we are looking for residents to serve on the Design Review Board and Economic Development Commission. Thanks to the RNCC and a few other community partners, we've got the opportunity to fill some gaps in the Planning Commission. So now we're shifting our focus to Design Review Board and Economic Development Commission. So thank you all for sharing that. I'm also happy to report that we're coming to council on the 19th to add 5 new seats to the McDonald Avenue Task Force. Those additions will be specific. It'll be 3 business representatives, 1 resident representative, and 1 flexible seat designated for either a property owner, business owner, or a combination thereof. If you or someone you know is interested in serving, or if you want more information on these boards or commissions, please feel free to reach out to the mayor's office at mayorsoffice@ci.richmond.ca.us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I just had a quick question for you. On these boards and commissions, are they Brown Act groups?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, and they'll be trained once they join?
Yes, that is correct. We have training materials that are available on the city boards and commissions webpage, but also training is available to those who need it.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions? None online? Anybody in the audience? No? Well, thank you, Tony. Greatly appreciated. Say hello to the mayor for us. So, economic development, I know this guy.
Make sure I get the button.
Hey, there he is.
Hello. Hello, President and board members. I want to say Terve and Huva Ilta for your president.
Kiitos.
I'm Craig Murray. I'm Development Project Manager in Economic Development. I'm reporting for our 6 different divisions. Those are Arts and Culture, Business Development, Environmental Health Initiatives, Real Estate, Richmond Housing Authority, and the Port. Arts and Culture. I'd like to please announce the new RACC commissioners, Kelly Robinson, Kata Avina, and Colleen Vancura. We have an Arts and Culture Manager recruitment that's coming soon. And as one of the other board members reported, the Juneteenth celebration will be held June 20th, 2026. And then also July 3rd, there'll be the annual event at the Marina Park for 4th of July. Richmond Main Street events. We have a monthly downtown walking tours. The downtown walking tours are every fourth Thursday of the month at 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will begin the tour at the RNSI office located at 1600 Nevin, Richmond, California. Music on the Main. Music on the Main is a summer concert series held in downtown Richmond at the Lot from 5 to 7 p.m. This year's dates are June 18th, Thursday, July 9th, Thursday, September 24th. Spirit and Soul will be held Saturday, August 29th. And then we have a series of art installations beginning with Allen Brothers Meat and Seafood Facility at 211 West Cutting Boulevard next week. IMTT Public Art Sculpture Fabrication begins next week. And the installation is expected in the early fall. Torque, which is the large sculpture in the Hilltop Auto Mall, is being prepared for public art signage. And inspirational quotes are being sought and considered by RACC members for the incorporation into the Borman Park Trail Quotes Project. Okay, moving on to our next division, business development. Business development team remains available to support both existing and prospective businesses. Appointments can be scheduled through the city's website for assistance with permitting, resources, and general business inquiries. Facade Improvement Program update. The pilot program remains open and continues to receive applications from businesses in the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods. Neighborhood councils are encouraged to continue sharing this opportunity with local businesses and interested storefront improvements. Grants are up to $15,000 are available per approved applicant. National Small Business Week is May 4th through May 8th. The recap is the City of Richmond celebrated National Small Business Week by highlighting and supporting local businesses through community-focused activities and outreach. Events such as workshops, seminars, and networking opportunities were provided to engage with local businesses, promote neighborhood entrepreneurs, and encourage community participation. McDonald Avenue Corridor Task Force, attend and apply. The task force continues to meet regularly to advance strategies for the revitalization of the McDonald Avenue corridor. The meetings are held on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 11 a.m. in the Richmond Room at City Hall and are open to the public. Input is encouraged to help develop the plan and revitalize the downtown Richmond. Economic Development Commission, attend and apply. The Economic Development Commission meets on the second Wednesday of each month at City Hall. Open commissioner positions remain available for individuals interested in supporting Richmond's economic development efforts. And I did speak with Samantha. Next up is environmental health initiatives. Tonight there's a very large group stuffing the Bike to Work Day bags. And then this week is Bike to Work Day month, and that'll be held this Thursday for those participating. And Samantha apologized not having necessarily a large report tonight, but she'll be attending your next meeting and providing a full report. Real estate, as your representative of Marina Bay Neighborhood Council, Margarita Mitas, did indicate on Wednesday, May 6th, we did participate in a meeting with the Marina Bay Neighborhood Council. We presented area FM cap with the DTSC representative. Very large attendance, surprised, about 45 people attended. There were many questions and many answers. O.C. Jones of Berkeley, the contract was approved on April 7th by City Council. Still working through the insurance documentation process, and we expect them to commence work here with an executed contract, hopefully in the next few weeks. Work is expected to happen this summer on the 2.5-acre site. And just to let you know what this site is, it's between the boat ramp and Laura's Restaurant, right on the Esplanade. And it'll provide an asphalt cap that's used for parking. We could also use it for flex space such as events, and will provide opportunity for more use and reuse of the site. And then the final site of the 9 deed restricted properties that be capped will be this area FM, so we'll finally complete all 9. And then also we completed a field review with the wastewater treatment managers and the watershed cooperative for additional plant space to expand and grow their business. And then we're working with the finance department on space assessment in the 440 and 450 Civic Center Plaza buildings. And then finally completing final requirements of city application to the state fund for environmental work reimbursements for the city's corporation yard. Richmond Housing Authority is, together with its development partners Eden and CHDC, have started resident engagement for redevelopment in Eastern Village. And then Port, I believe they reported last meeting, but the dredging of Richmond Marina is scheduled for July. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No? None? Well, quitos.
Okay, quitos.
By the way, that means thank you and finish. So thanks again.
Thank you, Craig. Have somebody to practice with, huh?
Yeah. So we have planning department, Avery. They got to remove that column.
And that column a little bit. Or they gotta put them, well, even over here would be the same difference.
Good evening, RNCC. I know the column's in the way. That's where staff, we all like to sit over there during council, so it's like our spot. Good evening, Avery Stark, Planning Manager here with the City of Richmond, providing an update and some reports. I wanted to first follow up with the request for Parchester, the request about the commercial cannabis cultivation site, so that new tenant building that was built and is now being currently occupied by a logistics center. So I did find the original entitlements, and yes, it had both a project entitlement for a conditional use permit to do cultivation of cannabis with multiple users, and then the development of the building. So the cannabis operator has not opted to actually pursue their use of that building in that capacity, so there will not be a cannabis cultivator using that building. It's since been leased over to an operation that does logistics and basically the moving of goods and products. So that's what you're seeing kind of coming in and out of there right now. So staff confirm they have their business license, they had all the inspections, they're in good standings. But then unfortunately, the conditions of approval that were established by the cultivator that had included some donations to Parchester are unfortunately invalid and will not be provided. So regretfully to report on that, but can report that the current operator is in good standings with the city. In terms of current applications, the planning department's currently reviewing 150 different separate entitlements, ranging from, again, single-family homes all the way up to large multifamily projects. Recently, the Planning Commission last week heard and approved 1315 Garrity Way, which is up in the Hilltop neighborhood, for 47 new townhomes. We've also had the appeal and approval of the appeal by council for the 70 single-family homes at Marina Point. And then upcoming this next month, we will have the Transmontane project, the expansion of the rail yard, a few new single-family homes, and some small fourplexes going forward. And then later this year, in June and July, we'll start to have some more of our larger policy documents around housing, the environmental justice element for the general plan, and our circulation element updates as well. And then staff recently attended the state's, from our historic preservation kind of team of one, the state's national conference, state conference on historical preservation, which was attended by Charles Inchill and the members of the HPC Commission as well. And then outside of that, I don't have any other major updates for the RNCC this evening, but happy to help answer any questions or from here.
All right. Who would like to start off?
Two questions. Just curious, any update on where San Pablo and Solano is? There's a building that was burnt down. It was exotic something, yeah. I was just wondering if there's any feedback on that building. It's just all shut down. Looks like it's a little, looks kind of smoky. That was one question. The second question would be, is there any update? There's been floating around the city that OpenAI is considering coming to Richmond. Is there any truth to that?
So for the first question regarding San Pablo, and what was the cross street?
Solano, Cross Street, San Pablo, Solano, next to the what was the old Red Wing shoe.
Okay. So I don't have any current applications in for any new project at this point, but I imagine at this point it's been reviewed by the building department, probably closed and red tagged for occupancy. But that at the point where they do choose to either demolish or come in for new permits for entitlement, those would come back through planning and would end up on the list.
It'd be a great place for a bookstore.
Okay, duly noted. Thank you. And then regarding OpenAI, yes, I can confirm, as it was published at this point, that they have taken tenancy of Terminal 3 in the harbor, which is the previous site of Moxion. It is OpenAI. They will be operating a more or less a robotics lab that will be staffed with somewhere between 300 and 700 employees. They're in the process right now of getting their building permits for the development of that internal site and the external site as well.
Thank you very much for that report. I'm excited about businesses coming into Richmond. I know the training has to be done in all areas, but there, like he said earlier, there's 52 miles of land. Let's not monopolize every inch. Let's let some of these businesses in, but let's keep the training. But in this move towards the future. Thank you.
Couple questions. You mentioned the Transmontane was moving forward. So, could you repeat that? Because I think I missed that, because the last conversation online with Dana was that it was still under review.
Yes, so it's moving forward to the design review board first, and then it will then proceed to its public hearing with planning commission. So the design review board meeting is scheduled for, well, you look for your next, I'll look that up.
Okay. And then the second question I have is for OpenAI. Have you, or has the company itself given you any indication on how they're going to be moving equipment into the materials to build these robotic materials into Marina Bay?
No, outside of the use being a permitted by right use, the moving of products and goods into the site is strictly within their purview. Operationally, it will still require all building permits, fire permits, and operational occupancy permits. So it will still be permitted as such as any normal business doing work in the city of Richmond. Any construction plans that they may have for on-hauling or off-hauling of anything would also go through the building department as well. But at this point, if they're moving in furniture, supplies, things like any normal business, it's not something that the city interferes with in terms of what it is they're moving in.
Yeah, I don't mean their office setup. I'm talking more about the actual hardware that they're going to need to build the robotic material, the materials themselves.
So just the question about what the materials are?
Yeah, because they're going to need some type of machinery in order to build the the robots.
Correct. I can't speak specifically to the materials that they're using.
It would be a lot, right? Because it would be a lot, right? So it would either be like through trucks or maybe train, maybe it's coming by boat, just to have an understanding of that.
Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to logistically how they're planning to move things into that building, but I would suspect generally by semi-trucks, smaller box trucks. Whether or not they choose to use the port would be something that would be organized through the port, and whether they choose to use trains would also be something at their discretion that may be offloaded at our switch yards and then brought over on truck if it's coming on a Connex box. But again, the city doesn't, at this time for this type of project, have that level of detail into how they're operationally setting up the site.
I was just wondering, is that all union work?
I do not actually know the answer to that question. You'd have to contact, I know they have when the article was released a few weeks ago, they did have some contact information online in terms of who's doing the work. But I would have to assume that it is labor-related and labor and union employees, I can certainly inquire with the PM to see if that's something that they're able to share with me, but I can't guarantee that they're going to be able to provide me with that answer.
Thank you. Questions?
I just kind of noticed, we haven't been getting our, project list. I'm on the notify me, and I just looked through my emails.
You didn't, oh, okay. I'll get your contact information after this,
Okay.
and we'll make sure that that's getting taken care of. And then, so for Transmontane, it is going to go to the Design Review Board for a special meeting May 20th. And so that will just be particular to the design of the site, the extension of the rail, and the truck canopy area. And then when it goes to the Planning Commission, which is tentatively scheduled for June 4th, will be the public hearing where we'll focus more on operations, hours, and the environmental CEQA document that was prepared with the published responses to those comments that will be going up shortly. And I'll send to you directly.
And before we go to the next speaker, are you, question, is there a project labor agreement involved with this project?
As I'm not the project manager, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll have Dana look into that and get back to us.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for providing that information. This organization bypassed the neighborhood council completely. So how this came about, we only knew when the building went up. So I'm very, very happy to hear that there is no cannabis coming out of that. And hopefully it'll stay that way. Thank you.
I have a question. Avery?
You have to turn the mic. Is your mic on? There you go. It was.
Is it on now?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so old, I can't see. Which neighborhood is that?
If you're referring to the 3053 Giant Road, it would be Parchester. Correct. That was where the tenant space had been proposed. Again, the building was constructed, but the use is not going to be cannabis cultivation, but a logistics center.
Okay, so did you guys go to that neighborhood to get the approval?
No. They did not.
The applicant, I wasn't here at the time of this approval back in 2021, so I can't speak to it, but it sounds like they did not come to the neighborhood council to propose their project.
I was just wondering, Parchester, did they come to you guys?
Absolutely not. I had asked when before the walls started going up. I was told they didn't know, and then, once the plaster came up, then I was told it was gonna be cannabis. And I had specifically said it had better not be, so that was one of those that conveniently that they bypassed us. But I just wanted Avery and other people to know, we know what's going on in our neighborhood, and that's why we come to you and ask.
No, that's what you know.
I'm actually the one that brought it to their attention, not the city.
Oh.
So.
Well, they didn't even know they didn't only have this stuff in their neighborhood. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
The neighbors didn't agree with it, so I'm trying to figure out how you can so far along without that notification.
Yeah. So we have to move on to other questions.
I have a question. Avery, I would like to know, could you email me contact information for this logistic company? Because I'd like to introduce myself to them, okay?
I think the easiest way would be to just Google search it. That's how I found out, and then check their address. Yeah, so their contact information's all online. You can.
Can you repeat the name of the company?
It is Uni Logistics Center. The address is listed as 3450 Collins, which is one of those side streets.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions? I've got several. So CSI has been a problem, CSI mini storage, for years, and it's been brought to your attention. I'd like to know if there's anything being done, because they actually told the city that if they wanted to come onto their property, they would have to get a warrant.
So I do have a meeting tomorrow. I just actually emailed you while we were sitting here in chambers. I do have a meeting to discuss their conditional use permit, the moving and shifting of the containers that you had mentioned, and then the work potentially regarding large semi trucks in the front area. So I'll be speaking with Mike tomorrow. Colleagues from code enforcement are also aware. The fire department and the building department will be coordinating inspections again this week. Again, they have an outstanding conditional use permit. We issued them a notice of incomplete with corrections that need to be identified, and have not yet received a response from the operator. We've reached out again, of course, at this point now where we're making contact to figure out what is their next step and plan of action in terms of coming into compliance with getting a conditional use permit to kind of re-establish their use, as it was considered a legal non-conforming use that existed prior to when we required CUPs for mini storage. But because they've expanded and modified their site, that's what requires a new conditional use permit. So as soon as I know more from that meeting tomorrow, I will be sure, along with Fire Marshal Wiley and others, to get back to your email on that one.
Yeah, and I ask that you use as much discretion as possible and not mention anyone's names, because they've been known to evict people for these kind of things.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Yeah, and then so moving on, there's various stories coming out of Prologis. I spoke to them 2 weeks ago, and I'd like to hear what you know.
Well, if you've spoken to them, that's more than I've heard in about 3 months. So congratulations on getting a hold of them. They have not reached out to us formally in any capacity regarding submittals, new plans, master plans, or anything of that sort. So
Yeah, basically they just said they have a new team member and they'll be presenting here in 26 or 27.
I look forward to seeing the application.
And then is there a moratorium on data centers?
Yes, the council did pass a moratorium on data centers, and myself and Lena Velasco will be returning to the council with an updated ordinance to kind of solidify that and understand kind of the parameters of what would be allowed in terms of a data center and where it would be allowed, but to be discussed post-moratorium.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any no online? None in the audience? Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Avery. You've been
You're very welcome.
very informative. Thank you. So next we have Public Works. Darren Fitzpatrick. Sounds like a race car driver.
Good evening, Darren Fitzpatrick, Assistant Deputy Director of Public Works for Operations and Maintenance. I apologize, I am not Carlos. Moving forward, I will more than likely be making a presentation to the RNCC, and I will also probably drag along some superintendents and supervisors, either based on current projects we have going on or requests from RNCC for specifics that they may like to hear about. So I will begin with our quick updates with our electrical unit. In April, our electrical unit processed over 180 underground service alert tickets, repaired 115 streetlights, 22 traffic signals, and responded to 2 emergency callouts for vehicular accidents resulting in knockdown of signals. For our solar lighting project, lights are now completed on Carlson Boulevard, with the exception of 4 additional lights that we're going to install. Seacliff Drive, Robert H. Miller, Hilltop, Richmond Parkway, and there is currently work going on at Tiller Park, in the parking lot here on 27th, and Potrero Court. Some of the projects that are coming up following those are the Nickel Park tennis courts and the BTA pickleball courts. I do want to highlight that currently we have over 500 outages citywide due to copper theft. Most recently in Marina Bay, over the last 2 weeks, we were hit with over 100 outages along the Bay Trail that we are currently assessing. And we're upwards of close to $2 million in damages due to copper wire theft right now. For our streets department, resurfacing is completed on 7th Street between Barrett and Ripley. Although we will be going back to perform some additional work there. We had a couple issues. So look out for that. There'll be new notifications sent for that. We installed 38 new signs on McDonald between 34th and San Pablo, 22 new signs on 4th Street between Barrett and Nevin ahead of paving work, 49 street sweeping signs, no parking signs in Hilltop Village, 29 traffic signs citywide, including East Richmond, McDonald Avenue, and Cutting. New thermoplastic striping and school crosswalk improvements on Brooks Avenue at Grant Avenue between 23rd and 24th Streets. New striping and signs on 2nd Street, 3rd Street, and 4th Street corridors. 700 linear feet of red curb have been installed at bus stops in April. 60 linear feet of red curb on Wiswall Drive. New speed limit signs on Morningside as well as a solar radar display speed sign on Morningside. And Parks and Landscape, we are currently finalizing our playground condition assessments that we will be reviewing and then bringing to City Council. We are in the process, Rain Cloud Park and Atchison Village Park, we've received all the new playground equipment, and we are currently working with our vendors on the timeline for removing the existing and the install of that new equipment. And right now, our Parks and Landscape, one of the big focuses is on defensible space clearing for the June 1st deadline for fire safety. Our abatement team for April cleared 22 encampments, removing 16.2 tons of debris, removed illegal dumping from over 1,200 locations, totaling over 236 tons. Removed 188 graffiti tags at 88 locations, conducted 5 neighborhood dumpster day events, assisted 104 senior or disabled residents, removing 19.2 tons of debris or materials, removed 332 illegally dumped tires, 226 mattresses, and 152 gallons of paint and oil. Completed weed abatement of 18 locations, dismantled and removed 3 RVs or boats, and closed 89 community requests through our IMS system. So that is my update for operations and maintenance for April. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Last month, you reported that you were going to start confiscating traffic cones that were left in the streets. We have some neighbors with an issue in that there's a lot of areas in the annex where there is no curbs. In other words, it's just dirt. At one time, there was wooden curbs there, and they disappeared and slowly rotted away. And some of the people wanted to put out cones because when the street sweeper comes by, it keeps eating away at the dirt. And there's utilities there, and they don't want them to get into that. So if they're going to place cones out, would you suggest that they be up on the embankment? Because they were putting them in the street to keep the street sweeper from getting too close. But if they're going to confiscate them, then that becomes an issue there.
I think if we were notified of where they were and what the purpose was, then as long as they're not in the right of way or obstructing anything and the sweeper was able to get through and clean adequately, then it wouldn't be an issue and we can work around that.
Okay.
Well, our focus was for people saving parking spots, leaving them in the middle of the road, all these different things. If they're there for an actual reason, then we're happy to work around that.
Yeah, this was on Panama Avenue in the annex, so.
Okay, I can talk to Carlos about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Darren. Thank you for your report, and thank you for the update on the lights out on Marina Bay. So I know you guys are working really hard on trying to get the lights on and keep them on. And I also know that you're working on, implementing solar, around the city of Richmond. So for the July 3rd event, I hear it's still a go, but the fix might be and I can't say this for sure, but it might be a temporary fix. And I'm just wondering, you know, how sustainable is that fix? I mean, it's nice to have it for the July 3rd event, but, you know, we want the lights to stay on all the time, right? So just if you had anything you can add to that, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, it's difficult. I got a couple calls today from folks that were upset that, you know, the wire was stolen, even though, you know, it's hard from our point of view. We had bolted down pull boxes and 3-ton rocks sitting on top,
Yeah.
right? So we're actively trying to secure these areas, and the folks that are intent on stealing the copper are very resourceful. So I'm working with PD for increased patrols through there, especially while the light's out. What I can update now is not just because of the event coming up, but obviously that's a big factor. This is now turned into our #1 priority for repairs. Whether that is city staff, if we bring in outside contractors, we're processing all that information right now and trying to get, we have requests for quotes coming in, so that we can see the magnitude of costs that we're looking at with, you know, over 100 lights out. And we're looking at full pulls. You know, this isn't spot repairs. This is pulling all new wire. We don't know if the conduit is intact. We don't know if we can pull new wire through the conduit that's been in the ground for 10, 15, 20 plus years. Those are all things that we have to work through and identify before we can give an absolute, you know, hey, we're good to go for July 3rd. But that is our goal.
Okay.
And we are also looking not just at Marina Bay, but several other large parks and places where we have events for solar options, for our phase 2 of solar.
Okay, thank you.
Hang on, that's
Yeah,
okay.
wait till we get done, then it's your turn.
On the Greenway, they have lights that's out, and I'm wondering, are you guys working on that particular area between, I guess it's between no, it has to be Carlson and Broadway.
Yeah, we are definitely aware that they are out. And again, with over 500 out, we are prioritizing and working through them the best we can. So yes, we are going to get there. I don't have a specific time right now of when we will get there.
Okay.
But yes, we know they're out. It's unfortunate.
It ran out for about, what, 5 years now?
I don't think quite that long, but, okay. All right, I wanted to thank for the, speed, the solar speed sign on, McBride. There was a guy behind me that I knew he was just ready to roll, and so by the time I turned, he hit it, it was flashing, slow down, slow down, slow down. So it is, you know, it'd be great if it was at the top too, but, you know, one way, if we can get them to even pay attention, it'd be nice. The other thing is, on the corner of Downer and 24th Street, on Downer at 24th, where the crosswalks are for Grant School, there's, the house right there tends to, they have a trailer and a truck parked in front. And, I mean, it's right there. They got tagged, but they go right back. And so I don't know if we need to paint that, so maybe they will get the idea, but, or maybe if we tag them enough times, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's, you know, it's been like that for years.
Yeah, I have weekly meetings with patrol, with Lieutenant Patchen, and that whole staff, so I can bring it up again, and we have spots that we ask to be consistently monitored for situations like that, so
Yeah.
I can bring it up. And, sorry, back to McBride, we are looking at some other calming there, more speed display signs, some additional street lighting down on McBride and near McBride and 24th, the intersection there, some solar lights. So there are some things in the pipeline
Yeah,
for that
24th
area.
from Lincoln to Ream has no lights on it. It was something to do with the power poles, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you were talking about solar lights at Parks and Rec, I was going, oh yeah, I know where there could be some more too. But thank you for all your work.
No problem.
Darren, with regards to the cones and the code enforcement. I was told some time back that the street sweeper comes either first or second, and then code enforcement goes behind them. And as my neighbors were giving me the side eye on my street, everybody moved their cones. I happened to be out there, and we waited for a while, and I could see the difference where the cars were moved, where they could get swept, versus the cars that were not. So code enforcement did not show up, and I'm assuming, I know they're dealing with a lot of the dispensaries and the smoke shops, but it would be nice to not have my neighbors side-eyeing me for making them move their cones, and they're seeing that there were no cars tagged, and debris is still out there. It does make a visible difference when they can get there. I could see that. I even took pictures of where you could see it was clean until there was a car and there wasn't. So I just wasn't sure. I'm sure they cannot make every single time.
So it's in response to the street sweeping with the enforcement action that carries with them. So that is our parking enforcement through PD, not code enforcement. And what can happen is if code enforcement gets to a street that has 3, 4, 5, 10 vehicles that haven't moved, they have to stop. They stop to issue citations, and often the street sweeper will get ahead of them quite a ways, depending on, we see streets where there's 30 cars that didn't move. So you have one parking enforcement person now issuing citations for all 30 of those vehicles. That could be what happened in Parchester there. It could also be that the parking enforcement could have been pulled for something else that happened, an accident, or I'm not aware of what day it was specifically. But you can always shoot me an email and say, hey, this was our sweeping day, people moved, there was no enforcement on that day, and then I can follow up with parking enforcement to see what happened, and also try to make sure that the next sweep cycle that they're there no matter what. Absolutely.
Okay, do we have anybody online? Okay, well, I have a few questions. I wanted to verify, you said 2 million. The last report was 1 million, $2 million worth of copper theft in 2026 alone?
No, not just that is going back to at least the beginning of 25.
Okay, so in about a year and a half.
Little over a year and a half. Yeah.
Wow, they're pretty industrious.
Yeah.
Also, we have a light that's completely collapsed at the top on Mills, leading right into the college off of Shane Drive. Those two lights have been damaged somehow, and they don't even work, so I wanted to report that. And then I wanted to ask, what is Public Works' role? Because we've been getting a ton of complaints about campaign signs. And I just tell them, contact the city clerk, and she will take care of it, or I'm starting to tell them to use the app.
So with all things, I strongly encourage using the app because it does come directly to staff. And even if you send it to the wrong place, if you're scrolling through and you're like, I don't see exactly, send it to somebody, because they're going to get it and they know this isn't me, but this is Darren or Carla or whoever. And they have the ability to then send it to the proper person. So that's one thing. Definitely use the app. We don't have a role unless asked to engage. But it will go through the clerk's office, code enforcement. The candidate is given a certain period of time to remove them or move them if they're not placed correctly. And if they don't, they can be confiscated, they can be fined, all that stuff. So specifically, we don't have a lot to do with it unless requested.
And then I was asked if you could put O'Brien in the Fairmead Hilltop neighborhood, O'Brien Street, on the paving list. It's just riddled with potholes and in super bad shape. So if you guys can maybe drive up there, take a look at it and see if it qualifies to get on the list. I know the residents would be very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can take a look and see what the current PCI is and see where it rates.
Thank you. And then if there are no more questions, I guess we'll let you get back to your evening and, no.
Actually, I remembered a resident was complaining that the light for the street light was out near the corner of Burlingame and Mendocino. And I believe they've already contacted the city, but I'll just mention it just in case it didn't go through. And the other thing is, if you are purchasing electronic signs for measuring speed, we used to have several of them on Carlson Boulevard in the annex. And I don't believe they're there anymore. I think they finally bit the dust and they were never replaced. So
Yeah, we've actually, with purchasing the new ones that we put on Morningside and on McBride, hey, my brain stopped working for a minute. We are actually looking to incorporate the solar version of those speed display signs on Carlson, on the Parkway. We received some additional funding, hopefully we requested some additional funding from council, and I believe that we're going to receive that funding. It is a high priority for them and as well for us. So I think some of those main thoroughfares and arterials are gonna start receiving those feedback signs. We feel like they're beneficial and they do have an impact. So we would like to see them out there more as well.
Well, thank you, Darren. Greatly appreciated. And if anybody has any more questions, feel free to, can you give us your contact information?
You can reach me on my email, which is Darren, DARIN _Fitzpatrick, FITZPATRICK @ci.richmond.ca.us. That lovely email we all have. My office number is 510-231-3044.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good evening. So moving on, we have old business. We really don't have any old business to discuss. Our new business is the RNCC has been fortunate enough to create a new website. And we'll be rolling that website out soon, shortly. And we're asking that if neighborhood councils want to share their link on our website, we can oblige that, just send it to us. We'll make sure it gets on there. And you will be responsible for your own updates and any editing. We are not going to do any of that. That's entirely up to the neighborhood council. And then I just wanted to reiterate, it is the 70th anniversary, 70 years ago, neighborhood council was formed, and it's been a part of Richmond for 70 years. So we plan on having some type of celebration this year. We don't know what yet, but I encourage all of you neighborhood councils to have your own celebration and join us as well. So I see Cordell is anxious to say something before we adjourn.
Yes, and I do have a couple of future agenda ideas that I was thinking of. If you recall, last month I had suggested to invite Logan Robinson to come and speak to us at a later time to talk to us about home match, because I was looking at an article recently and it's like, I feel that, let me phrase it correctly, older adults are more, they feel isolated. And I figured, and I said to myself, it would be great if someone matched an individual in their home. So that was a thought I had in my mind. And the other thought I had was inviting Caltrans to come and speak to us at a later time to address, which I should have brought it up to Lieutenant Patchen about the regarding the encampments like near my area. It's like it's getting to be a concern again. And then the other part was inviting BNSF Railroad to come and speak to us at that time to tell us to address these issues regarding the trains. It's getting to be a problem. So I'm hoping that the board will invite one of them to come speak to us at a later time.
We've actually been talking about that. We're just looking for contact information, but appreciate it again. Thank you. And once again, anything that, oh, could you tell us your name and?
Of course, of course. Good evening. My name is Janice
I'm sorry.
There you go. Thank you. My name is Janice Haugan, and I'm a Richmond resident. I'm here to ask for your help. I'm part of local and state groups to stop illegal fireworks for all the reasons you're familiar with. Their injury and fire risk, damage to vehicles and buildings, trauma to some pets, wildlife, and people with PTSD, autism, and dementia, the litter they leave behind, the toxins they put in the air and water, the disturbance to our sleep, and the strain they put on emergency services. The street fireworks have gotten more powerful and dangerous, causing not just injuries, but deaths in California. Times have changed, and we need to act. We've been meeting with city council members and public safety personnel in Richmond about a multifaceted approach addressing the illegal importation of fireworks into the state, educating children and adults on the harms they cause, asking the council for higher penalties, asking the police for increased enforcement, making sure the public knows how they can report the use and sale of fireworks, and encouraging Richmond residents to enjoy fireworks at the city-sponsored July 3rd event and to celebrate the holiday in fun but safe ways. This year, the police plan to use drones as first responders again this July. KCRT is working on a public service announcement on the dangers of illegal fireworks. The fire department is educating fifth graders about the dangers as well. The Public Works Department will hopefully put out sandwich board signs and road signs again. And the fire department will post banners on a few stations. Some council members have said that they are working on a stronger ordinance, which we really hope to see on the council agenda by the end of the month. The police will print yard and window signs in English and Spanish with the message that fireworks are illegal and the number to call to report violations. This is where we need your help. We want you to ask your neighbors to display the signs, to plaster the city with a message that illegal fireworks are not wanted here. Closer to July 4th, the signs will be available at City Hall and the police station. There are also a variety of printable English and Spanish signs on our website, and residents are encouraged to get creative and make their own. I will send you all an announcement in June asking for your help in distributing the information about the sign campaign to your memberships. We can make this culture change in Richmond, but it's going to take a citywide effort. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Janice.
I just wanted to thank the North and East Neighborhood Council for our wonderful snacks out there. And
Thank you, Jan.
very nice.
Thank you. I was heading
Yes,
in that direction.
Jonas.
Excuse me. Anybody speaking?
Uh,
I am.
yes.
Okay. This is for the RNCC. I suggest that you, as the president, and you, as the secretary, and your board, please take a look at the application that these people have to come in and supposedly signed up to say they come into the neighborhood councils before they do anything. If you guys would look at it and see, is there a copy of something on there where they need to check off to say that they came to the councils or they did not? So when people come to your neighborhoods and say, did you go to the city? You get your application. If they say yeah, you say, did you sign it? And did you suggest that you come to the councils first before you waste your money? Because once you put your money down for making any changes in your neighborhood, the city won't give it back to you. So if they come to us first before they do anything, then they know whether they are approved or not approved. So I suggest that you guys maybe look at that application that they're supposed to have signed before they add or do anything on their properties.
I think everybody should email the planning department and request that any projects that come to neighborhoods come to the neighborhood council first, like they used to, because they've stopped doing that for quite some time, and it's disturbing. So thank you for that. And then I also wanted to thank Richard Lee from KCR TV. I know you're listening, for all your hard work. And I wanted to mention too that anything you missed here, you can see on KCR TV's YouTube page. So just go to their page and you'll see the RNCC meeting on there, and you can review everything that you heard tonight. So that being said, oh, and thank you, Garland, for all the work you've done as past president. Greatly appreciated. And thank you for reminding me. Thank you for everything. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, with that being said, it is 8:49, May 11th. I'd like to close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, we're out of here.